Welcome to Connected to Fiber's pricing demo for network providers. As a network provider, do you struggle with obtaining cost information from your partners, as well as responding to and quoting deals at scale with per location pricing that reflects location-specific dimensions such as serviceability, competitive density, and customer type? And as a result, you're taking weeks to quote tens of thousands of locations, losing deals, or leaving money on the table? With Connected to Fiber's location engagement platform for network providers, we can help you easily obtain availability and cost information from Type 2 partners, determine pricing on a per location basis, and then automate quote generation. Specifically, the Connected World allows you to identify what partners can service a location or set of locations, and then access product cost information for those locations. It can also allow you to quickly and intelligently create custom location-level pricing logic and incorporate it into a product catalog. And then finally, the Connected World allows you to automate the process of quoting locations both individually as well as in bulk. For this demo, we are going to pretend that you are a fictitious network operator called Blue Ocean Telecommunications, who also buys Type 2. Let's take a look at the Connected World and walk through how you can cost, price, and quote in the platform as a network provider. What you see in front of you is the Connected World. To start, you as Blue Ocean will want to set up a product catalog and have your products and pricing configured in the platform. Connected to Fiber's GIS team can add all of that information into the platform for you, or you can choose to add them into the platform yourself. You can configure all of this in the admin section under products and services and have full control over adding and updating the information as necessary. You can set up a product catalog for any of your offerings. Let's click Show All so we see everything, and you'll see that you can set up a product catalog for anything from dark fiber to switched Ethernet, dedicated Ethernet, etc. So now you see here on the left a list of potential products you might have, and it gives you the ability to select and brand the products with your own product names, change and save it within the product catalog. Then for each product, you can configure pricing based on a variety of attributes. First, you can create a product catalog based off of a channel, wholesale versus enterprise versus channel. You can also create product catalogs based off of a specific company, based off of network build status, building connection status, media type, competitive rating of the location, where green is the LEC and the cable company present, yellow is the LEC and the cable company and one other company present, and red indicates that there is a LEC, a cable company, and two or more competitors present at a location. Additionally, you can create the product catalog based on building category, geography, and distance band. In other words, how far from your network is this location? So as you can see already, it's a very robust pricing process and enables you to get granular on how to price and optimize pricing on a per location basis. There's no more peanut butter spread pricing. If you prefer not to configure pricing here, the other thing you can do is import your price list via Excel through this import button. So now let's say you wanted to create an on-net coax HFC product catalog specifically for the wholesale channel. You'll see that there's a default product catalog in here for on-net coax, and it lists the prices that you would have filled out previously for the various speeds and terms. Let's say you want to change that for wholesale, and you want to increase the price by $10 for the 5 meg speed for the 24-month term. You can easily do that here by just increasing the price $10 to $35 in that box, and then saving it. And then you can copy and paste this default product catalog to the wholesale product catalog. And now you've quickly and easily published a wholesale product catalog for broadband for on-net buildings using the default product catalog. And you can do the same price adjustment for the enterprise channel. So maybe you want to lower some of the offerings by $20. You can change that pricing here. You can go ahead and save it, and then again, copy and paste it from the default view to the enterprise view, and it will create that enterprise product catalog for you. So again, you can create a full customized product catalog based on a variety of different attributes in my channel too. And you can leverage your default price book as the baseline for creating product catalogs and to help minimize errors of keying in incorrect pricing numerous times. We also want to note that Connected to Fiber can bring in partner networks and suppliers and automate even more pricing. What this means is that in the same way we just set up Blue Ocean's product catalog, you can set up pricing logic for suppliers that Blue Ocean buys from. And you can set this up in Network Radar, which manages all of your suppliers and their pricing. Not only will you be able to load in the supplier's costs, but you will be able to set margin the same way you did for your own product and service pricing. And then once you set up the supplier pricing there, you will see that populated here under supplier pricing. The supplier pricing tab is a place where you will be able to visualize all the information and manage it. So now that you've created the product catalog, your partners and internal teams, when they go into their instance of the Connected World and they search for a building, they will be able to find that building, see data on who services that building, and now also the pricing specific to that building. And they can see the associated prices that the sales team can charge. Once all of the pricing logic is set up, Connected to Fiber will utilize all of its location level data attributes for a building or set of buildings and run it through the appropriate pricing logic to ultimately arrive at a price for a product at a location, and that price is individualized to that location. So now that you've configured your product catalog or catalogs, you can leverage this pricing logic to expose pricing to your partners at a building level within the platform, and the pricing will be leveraged when sending out quote responses via our CPQ capability. Now that the product catalog is set up, let's take a look at what the CPQ workflow looks like in a couple of different scenarios. First, let's say that you are on Blue Ocean's product team and you receive in an RFP for multiple locations in Virginia from one of your partners, Songtel. Let's go into My Quotes, which is where you start the quoting process. On this page, you will see a listing of all the accounts and deals you've previously worked on. They may be by enterprise or by company or location. You can see that there's already a Starbucks account in here. Let's add in a new account for Songtel by going to Add Account, clicking on Custom, and completing the fields. And then clicking Add. Now you see the account on the list, and you can now add a new deal for Songtel. So click on Add New Deal, and let's call this deal Virginia Locations, and then click Add. Now you see the deal listed under Songtel, and now what you want to do is upload and add addresses. As with other areas in the Connected World, you can upload addresses in one by one with the single type ahead capability at the top. You can upload a CSV file from your computer, or you can copy and paste a bunch of addresses in this section here. So let's do that, and then hit Validate. However you enter the addresses in, all of the addresses will be validated, as you can see by the green check marks on the right-hand column. Let's select all of the addresses and then click Import. Now you see a list of those locations now with additional insight, like the provider at that location and competitive rating of the location. From here, you can choose to delete locations if you want. For example, if you want to exclude the competitive locations that are indicated in red, you can choose to do so. But let's just choose to keep all of them and click CPQ, which will use pricing logic and apply those to this list of locations to generate quotes. So you will notice that the quoting workflow will take you through a multi-step process. The first step is to add a quote and give that quote a name. So let's call it Songtel RFP. You can then add quote number, and you can populate all the other fields if you'd like, and then click Add. Then the next step is to select a configuration. Depending on what type of user you are, you will have access to a certain product catalog. There's a default product catalog, wholesale, enterprise, channel product catalog options here. So for this, let's just choose the default product catalog. Then choose a term. Let's choose 12 and 24 months with Ethernet dedicated and Ethernet switched for the 5 meg and 20 meg speeds, with fiber being the media type, and keep the API pricing checked off here. So as you can see, it's very configurable, and then you submit the configuration, and you get one last note about submitting this configuration, and if you're sure you want to save, you click Save. And what the system is doing now is running through each location that you entered, and within a few seconds, our CPQ engine has priced out each location where the pricing flowed from the product catalog logic we set up before, and also matches the logic against location data attributes that Connected to Fiber has on each location to come up with the price. So what it did was to query your instance as well as market APIs, whether there are providers within the Connected to Fiber platform or external APIs, and then instantly brought back cost and pricing information. So on the screen, you see all of the locations listed. Let's run through some of the columns. So you have each of the addresses, then you have the MRC column. MRC stands for monthly recurring charge, which is your price to the customer. Provider MRC is the cost received from your supplier. Margin MRC is the margin that you're adding to the provider MRC. So if you were to combine the provider MRC with the margin MRC, that would get you the MRC that's charged to your customer. And then the same thing for NRC, which is the non-recurring charges. You have the NRC, the provider NRC, and then the margin NRC. Margin NRC and provider NRC will come out to the NRC. So you can do search and filters like in other areas of the connected world. So let's enter Blue Ocean in this column. And you can see that Blue Ocean services many of these locations, so you can see the pricing for all of those. For other locations that are off-net, for Blue Ocean, you can see the providers that can service them and your partner's pricing for those. So for the locations on the list, you can see that there are options for suppliers, and you may want to sort them. There are also predefined filters that you might want to use, so you see the results by lowest MRC per address, or lowest MRC per supplier, or if you're looking for lowest MRC with diversity, there's also that option. So this is really helpful for you if you have a long list of addresses. It's just a good way to sort the results based on what it is you're looking for. So let's just choose lowest MRC per address, and you will see that the results resorted below. So when you're responding to this RFP, you are able to quickly see for each location what the lowest MRC is and from which supplier. Now that you have this list, you can select a location or a set of locations and choose to change the pricing for them using this button, Change Price. What you can do here is you can change the MRC, the provider MRC, the NRC, the provider NRC, and change them for the selected rows, either by currency or by percentage. So let's say we wanted to change the pricing for these selected locations by 10%. And then click Submit. You will notice that the price changed for those locations. And then if you scroll to the bottom and click on Audit Logs, this will let you see the history of all of the changes that were made to any of the locations and pricing. This is really good for tracking changes and auditing purposes. So now at this point, you can have this pricing flow into the quoting step, or you can choose to download a CSV file with this information. Or you can choose to flow the pricing to your own internal systems like Salesforce or Microsoft Dynamics or other CPQ tools with Connected to Fiber's CPQ API. Let's proceed with flowing the pricing to the quoting function in this platform. So you can choose to quote all or selected locations, and we can delete any of the locations if we do so using the trash can icon on the left. Let's just select all of the locations and then click Next. The next step in the workflow is managing approvals. Here you can manage the approval workflow to conform to any organization process for pricing and list anyone that needs to approve these prices before you generate a quote. Let's skip that for now. Click on Next and Generate Quote. In just a few seconds, the platform will generate a quote for each location, and you can download this quote as a PDF or a CSV file. So the quote here, as you can see, has your logo, and it'll present relevant information including the account name, deal name, the quote number, the quote expiration date, etc. And then you see the list of all of the locations below with the description of the terms, speed, products, along with the MRC, NRC, and terms for each location. You can then use the downloaded file to incorporate into whatever quoting format you use and send outside of the platform, or you can send the quote directly via email from this platform. So let's see how that works. So click Next, and on this screen you can add the recipient. You'll notice that the subject line is pre-populated with Songtel RFP, which you can change easily if you'd like. You can then include a quick note within the email body. Then click Send Quote. Once that button is clicked, your contact will get an email that the quote is ready for download. So that is the full walkthrough of the CPQ process if you're looking to respond to an RFP. With the platform, you have the ability to import those locations in the RFP, run validation and intersect those locations with your network or your partners' networks, determine and select your ideal product suppliers based on their costs and other factors, create pricing that's location specific, and then finally generate quotes at scale to the tune of thousands in a matter of minutes. Let's walk through another scenario. Let's say that you are an SMB sales rep for Blue Ocean and you are looking to quote a single location. You can enter in a single location and see information about that location. You can click on any of these various icons to see building information, network information, etc. If you then click on the dollar icon, it will take you to the quick quote capability. As a note, you can also quickly access Quick Quote by going directly into My Quotes, which is where we started for the previous scenario, and then go to the Quick Quote tab and enter in the address here. So in this example, the address is pre-populated, and then you can see that it's validated as indicated by the check mark in green. And then you choose what terms, products, etc. So let's choose default with 12 and 24 months for Ethernet dedicated and switched for the 5 and 20 meg speeds with fiber being media type. And let's choose to include pricing and then hit price. What that will do is to curate all of the data that we have at that site and within seconds provide whatever pricing is attached to that location for that specific configuration selected. You can then add this to a deal in My Quotes by selecting all and saving, selecting the account that you want this to be a part of, selecting the deal that you want this to be a part of or creating a new deal, and then saving, and that will allow you to bring it through the quoting process that we just walked through previously. Or if you're using another quoting system, you can push this pricing into that system of choice if desired through Connected to Fiber's API capabilities. This is a really compelling view for the SMB team as you go to price out specific locations based on a product catalog that's already been configured in the platform. So to summarize Connected to Fiber's pricing capabilities for network providers, with our location engagement platform, we provide you with a workflow that allows you to consume and manage costing information from your partners, enables you to create custom location-level pricing logic, and then apply that logic to quote locations at scale. This ultimately results in CPQ productivity and allows your organization to quote faster, increase your win rates, and optimize your profit margins. For more information about our capabilities for network providers, please visit www.connectedtofiber.com or contact your customer success manager or sales director. Thank you for your attention.